After retiring from the UFC, Habib decided to buy an MMA promotion called Gorila FC in 2020. Habib bought Gorila FC for $1 million, and later changed its name to Eagle FC. Gorila FC itself has been active in the industry since 2017, but was on the verge of bankruptcy. After buying Gorila FC and changing its name, Habib now seems serious about building Eagle FC into a bigger promotion. Habib's closeness with Dana White has also impacted the closeness of EFC and UFC. In fact, the EFC champion has a great opportunity to become a UFC fighter, a privilege that not every fighter can get. On the other hand, the world's biggest MMA promotion, UFC, has produced many big names, and has taken MMA to the next level, making it known to everyone. However, EFC also has the possibility to grow big or even compete with UFC. But how far has the EFC come to date? EFC has only been 2 years under Habib's leadership, but it has grown rapidly. Even top-level fighters like Kevin Lee and Junior Dos Santos did not hesitate to join the EFC. In that 2-year period, EFC also has a very busy schedule, almost matching the UFC. In addition to a busy schedule, EFC has also made its American debut at EFC 44 in January 2022, in conjunction with the UFC event. They are working with FTX Arena. The event held in Miami, Florida, was the EFC's first step towards the global market. While the UFC, which has been established since 1993, has slowly updated their system to what it is today. The previously extensive UFC in the European and American regions even took 25 years to reach the Asian region, thanks to the Habib vs. Conor McGregor fight in 2018. Habib's popularity and good cooperation with the UFC have certainly made this new promoter grow even faster. The role of fighters in a promoter's organization is very important, as they are a magnet for the fans. But unfortunately, promoters sometimes do not understand the grievances of individual fighters. UFC is a case in point. Although the UFC is the biggest promoter today, it seems that the system run by the UFC, which favors some fighters over others, has left some fighters feeling disappointed. Habib, as a former UFC fighter, knows exactly what the fighters are complaining about. Habib also listens to the complaints of each fighter, so that he understands the needs and difficulties experienced by each fighter. The addition of a weight division in the 165 pounds class or super lightweight division is one example of an EFC decision that the UFC has never made so far. This new division is able to bridge between lightweight and welterweight, and there could be other new divisions in the future. By understanding fighter complaints and being able to find solutions, of course the fighters are able to play optimally, so that the competition becomes more interesting. Fighters from outside will not hesitate to join the EFC like Kevin Lee and others did. In an interview, Kevin Lee said, "Pretty much everything about it is better than my UFC deal. Pretty much everything. I mean, the only difference is that there's no PI. What the FCK does that mean to me, you know. Even the facility they're running the FTX Arena out of is beautiful. It's got everything in it that you would need. It's got studios, they're thinking out the box, they've got a lot more freedom to do things. There was nothing about the UFC that was better, to be honest with you. Maybe the eyeballs for fighting on ESPN, That's big, but many guys get lost in the shuffle these days. So while the EFC is the new kid on the block, and has facilities far removed from what the UFC has, it has a great chance to compete with the UFC. Though not anytime soon. The UFC, until now, still has disputes with several fighters regarding payments. For example, John Jones, who has been on a long break, and Francis Ngannou, who finally left the UFC. Even before that, Tito Ortiz was also at odds with Dana White. All of these problems have indirectly resulted in some fights becoming uninteresting or even never happening. Like John Jones failing to fight Francis Ngannou, or the boring fight between Adesanya versus Yoel Romero. As a result, many fighters and fans have felt disappointed, not least with Jake Paul, who has often highlighted this issue. The EFC, however, has taken this issue seriously. The EFC even gave freedom on how the fighters will be paid. Kevin Lee has become the first MMA fighter to be paid entirely using Bitcoins. That wouldn't have happened if he hadn't joined the EFC. This open and adaptive system certainly opens up more market opportunities in the world of MMA. In an interview, Habib said, "Big organizations like UFC and Bellator, they have to be careful with their fighters because Eagle FC is here. Of course, we're trying to sign good athletes, great athletes with good names. At the same time, we're working with the young generations too. We have two goals. I just want to say be careful. If they don't treat good fighters, Eagle FC is here." That statement seems to warn the big promoters that EFC could be their competitor in the future, if they do not treat the athletes well. Although it seems that the EFC has good prospects of becoming a UFC competitor, Habib himself said that it will take at least 20 years to come. Habib himself is currently focused on creating champions who will later fight for the UFC. Well guys, that's the update from us. Don't forget to write your comments below to add. Like the video if you like it or dislike it if you don't like it. Thanks for watching and see you in other videos.